Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This practice today is going to be a very gentle practice. This is for those days when you feel like I would like to be moving, but I'm not necessarily feeling up to doing a challenging class. Most of it may even stay on the floor. And as you can see, I'm gonna have to share my mat with my friend here. So maybe you're also fortunate to be doing yoga with your friend. Let's go ahead and find a comfortable sitting shape, whatever that looks like for you this morning. And if you'd like, go ahead and softly close your eyes. And checking in, perhaps beginning to breathe in and out through the nose. Our focus today is on being present. So not just physically being here, but allowing yourself to mentally be here, to not be thinking of what do I need to do after I finish this practice, or what did I have to do this morning or this afternoon, whatever time it is where you are. What did I have to do prior to coming to my mat? We let that go. It's the nature of our minds that the mind is going to bring those up, but just observe the thought and then just let it float away. And if you notice you're becoming very distracted, perhaps even saying, I am present. Let's just take a minute or so breathing together, allowing ourselves to fully arrive. And as you're ready, gently opening your eyes, let's go ahead and bring our left hand down onto the mat, right arm next to the ear. We're just gonna open up the right side of the body. Side bends give us a little more space to breathe. So when I was thinking of a gentle flow, I also was thinking of how when we've been sick and then we need to start moving again, we definitely want to go a little slower and things can feel pretty tight. Let's inhale center. We'll bring that right hand down, left arm next to the left ear, open up, allowing the two sides to look and feel different. I'm much tighter on one side of my body than I am on the other. And then inhaling back to center. Let's take that left hand to the right knee. We're going to bring our right arm out like a wing, as though that palm is going up to the sky. And then again, side bend. I'm going to let that hand come up and over. So for me, sometimes I like to turn my gaze up to my fingers. You could also look straight ahead or down. As I inhale, spine back to center, I'm going to take that right hand to the left knee and I'm going to round into my back. If you're familiar with cat-cow, that's the shape I'm finding. As I inhale back to center, I'm going to lift my arms. Two choices here. One, perhaps I let my palms touch for Garudasana. Perhaps I give myself a hug. Take a moment, breathe here, sit up nice and tall. Wherever your arms are, take an inhale And as you exhale, we're going to turn towards the right, and I'm going to let my heart lead. Inhale back to center. Exhale, turn to the left, heart leads. So we're just finding some gentle twisting. And then coming back to center. Let's go ahead and release both arms. Take a moment. Second side, I'm going to take my right hand to my left knee. My right arm is going to come out like a wing. And again, that arm's going to go up and over. Big inhale back to center, left hand to the right knee, round, that's fine. Inhale, center, lift the hands. Maybe my palms touch. Maybe I'm giving myself a hug. And this could look different side to side. Just because you do it one way on one side doesn't mean your body's going to support that on the second side. Take a moment, nice tall spine. This time as we exhale, we're going to first go to the left. I'm letting my heart lead. And then inhaling back to center. Exhale, I'm going to go to the right. And I'm going to come back to center. Go ahead and release those arms. Let's extend that left leg out in front of us. The sole of my right foot is coming to the inside of my left leg. From here, inhale, I'm going to grow tall. Exhale, turn. Think of the heart going towards that knee. Maybe I'm bringing my hands on either side of the leg. So for me, this is a stretch in the extended leg. It's also a stretch on my low back on the side where my knee is bent. And if either of those was not agreeable for you, we could bend the knee as much or as little as you wanted. You can also work more upright. So for me, I intentionally want to get into that low back, so I'm going to stay forward. Just taking a few breaths here. Again, that theme of thinking when you've not really felt well and you're starting to feel better, but you're not quite ready to go do power flow or a hot yoga class. So we're just moving, we're just getting some of that stiffness out of the body. This would also be really good if you had sat in the car for a long period of time. Sometimes when we drive places, that can make me feel really tight the next day. Just another breath here. As I'm ready, I'm going to use my hands, walk myself up, bending into that left knee. So now my left knee is coming to the sole of my right foot. My right hand is on the floor. My left hand is going to come onto my hip. And I'm going to do 4 of these nice and slow, and then we'll do some a little faster. So as I inhale, I'm going to look over that right shoulder, come back to center, look over the left, back and forth a couple times here. Let's do one more at this pace. When I come back to center, I'm just going to focus on lifting and lowering this left hip. This is just a little hip release. So what makes our hips tight? Sitting. Who has been sitting today? Me, for sure. Right? If we drive a car or work on a computer, we tend to do that in a sitting shape. And so we just want to find some range of motion to release that. And as I'm ready, I'm going to come back to center. I'm going to turn sideways just so you can see what I'm doing here. So I like to bring the top of my foot onto the mat, and then I'm going to come back onto my elbows. All I'm looking for here is a stretch in this quadricep. For some of us, just tucking those toes back, you're going to have that stretch. Some of you may want to lay all the way onto your back. My body is saying, no thanks, not this morning. Take a moment and breathe here. And as you're ready, use your hands, bring yourself up. Let's go ahead and extend both legs forward. So if it's comfortable to sit upright, I could keep my hands on my thighs. If I want the support, I'll bring my hands near my hips. Feet are a little wider than hip distance. I'm going to rotate through my ankles. And then reverse, opposite direction. If your ankles are like mine, they're going to talk to you. They make all sorts of funny little noises. And as you're ready, just shake that off. Second side, we'll extend the right leg, sole of the left foot to the inside of the leg. Inhale, grow tall. On an exhale, I'm letting my heart lead me down towards that knee. Hands can come to either side. So when I let my heart lead, my chin is going to stay in line with my spine. My chin is not sticking out. Remembering on this side, just like you did on the first side, you could bend into this extended leg. You could also work more upright. And as you're ready, bring yourself back up. Let's go ahead and bend into that right knee, bringing that knee to the sole of the left foot. I'm going to take my left hand near my left hip, my right hand on my right hip. We're going to start with that slow movement. Inhale, prepare. As I exhale, I'm going to look over my left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, look over the right. Back and forth a few times like this. Think of your inhale bringing you back to center, and your exhale helping you to move. Last one at this pace. And when I come back to center, I'm going to lift and lower this right hip, just gentle. This finds, for me, a very gentle way to release into my hips. And letting that hip come back down. Once again, finding that quadricep stretch. So turning sideways just so you can see what I'm doing. For me, keeping the top of my foot to the mat is going to give me a better stretch. Looking for a stretch on that right thigh. So hands back, you could come to elbows. Some of you may want to rest all the way onto your back. Again, for me, my body's like, no, we don't need to be doing that right now. And carefully coming back up, wherever you are. Let's extend the legs and find the shape of a V this time. Bring those hands forward. So imagine you were stirring a large pot of food, and you're gonna come as far forward as you can, as far to the sides. And then we want to stir the other direction. So notice which thumb's on top. Place your opposite thumb on top. And go ahead and go the other way. come back to center. We're either going to return to sitting with our legs comfortably crossed with that right leg in the front, or if you'd like, take your left foot to your right glute and stack your right knee on top. Now for some of you, you're saying, okay, that's not gentle, and we're in a gentle class. So then you take the sitting with the legs crossed and that right leg in front. If you would like to come deeper, whether your legs are crossed or you've got your legs stacked, take an inhale, and just to demonstrate, if I let my chin lead, that's what that would look like. If I let my heart lead, that's what it looks like. Let those hands come down. Head's gonna relax. Taking a breath or two here. Always giving yourself permission to adjust the shape. And then use the hands, bring yourself up, hands near the hips. Let's go ahead and plant the feet with the knees bent. Take a moment, just let your legs go side to side. And when I do this, for some reason, I always tend to walk forward. So if you notice that's happening to you, that's normal. Let's come to the second side. This time I would either sit with my legs crossed, left leg in front, or I could take my right foot to my left glute and stack my knees. And again, check it out both sides. So maybe one side, this feels good, this feels accessible, and on the other side, it feels better to have the legs crossed. No right or wrong way to do yoga, for sure. Let's go ahead. If you want to fold forward, no matter what your legs are doing, inhale, grow tall. Exhale, let that heart lead. Use your hands, find your way back up to sitting. Let's come on to our hands and knees. Think of your knees being underneath your hips, and perhaps your shoulder, elbow, wrist come into one line. As we inhale, drop the belly, back of the head and the tailbone go high. And as you exhale, tuck chin, tuck tailbone, round your back to the sky. Inhale, finding cow shape. Exhale, finding cat. Back and forth a couple times like this. And as you come back to neutral, let's find our child shape. So I could keep my knees together like this. I prefer to do child's with my knees wide and my big toes touching. I can bring my arms forward. You could also keep arms by the sides. If your forehead doesn't come all the way to the floor, think of stacking a couple of soft fists and rest your head down. So this is meant to be a relaxing shape, a resting shape. It's also a pretty good hip stretch. as I'm ready, I'm going to come back to hands and knees. Finding another little spinal flow that I like. I'll bring my hands forward. Knees can stay underneath my hips. I'm going to tuck my toes. As I exhale, I'm going to press back. Inhale, I'll come center. And next exhale, I'll drop my hips, finding a back bend. Back and forth like this. So perhaps as you're doing this, you're moving a little slower or a little more rapidly than I am. Just noticing and listening what your body would like. Back bends give us a little energy. Next time you come into the back bend, you can hold there for a moment. Toes can stay tucked or untuck as you prefer. And as you bend your right elbow, look over the left shoulder. And then reverse that. Bend the left, look over the right. As you come back to center, we're going to lower into Sphinx. So I'm going to bring my elbows down, bring my belly down. This is a back bend. It's going to target my lumbar spine. Whoops. And if I am in this and my body's like, oh, this is not agreeable, this is too much, I could bring those elbows out to the sides and lower my head down. So just taking a few breaths here. So this little sequence we've done today has really focused on spinal movement, releasing into the hips. It's really just meant to be a gentle movement for those days when you think, I need to move, but I'm not quite ready for an active class. This helps get into all the spots that need a little bit of movement. As you're ready, let's all bring our elbows to the sides and let that head come down. Maybe shift your hips a little side to side, let go of any tension. And as you bend into both knees, keeping your head down, I've got mine up just so I'm not shouting into the floor. Let your legs go side to side like windshield wipers. As we come back to center, legs are going to come onto the mat. Go ahead and extend that left arm out like a wing. Bring your right hand underneath your shoulder if you're familiar with chaturanga, push-up arms. So I've got my right hand underneath my right shoulder. I'm going to turn my chin to the right. Target is my left shoulder. I can work here. I could also start to roll into that shoulder. Top leg can stack, or it could come behind the opposite leg. Inhale, center. Go ahead and reverse the arms. I'm going to extend my right arm, bring my left hand under my shoulder. My chin turns to the left. Target is my right shoulder. I work here. Or if I like, I can roll into that. This top leg could come behind. It could also stack. Inhale, center. Think of making a soft diamond shape with your hands. Go ahead and let the right side of your face rest on the mat, so my chin is turning to the left. And draw that left leg up. This is like a half frog, so maybe my hip, my knee, and my ankle are all at 90 degrees. I say maybe because maybe your body says no thank you to being that deeply bent. Gently straighten into the left leg. Turn your chin the opposite direction. Draw that right knee up. Half frog, second side. As you bring that leg back to center, let's go ahead and press ourselves back up to a sitting shape. I'm going to offer sitting hips to heels. It's going to look like this. If your body says no thank you, of course sit with your legs crossed, doesn't matter which leg is in front for this. Nice tall spine wherever you are. A little bit of work for our necks as we finish up this practice. So let's go ahead and let our left arm dangle down and think of drawing your left ear towards your left shoulder. I'm dangling my arm because I want that shoulder to stay relaxed. I'm just opening up the right side of my neck. Necks can get pretty tight, so it's good to give them a little opening, a little stretch, little release. As you come back to center, release that right arm, just let it hang. Think of shoulder, ear coming towards shoulder, shoulder stays relaxed. Open the left side of the neck. Inhale, center. Hands can rest on the thighs or anywhere that feels comfortable and relaxing. Let's take a nice deep inhale, and as we exhale, we're letting our chin lead. We're going to look to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, up. Inhale, center. Exhale, down. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, up. Inhale, center, and exhale down. Inhale, center. I'm going to rotate through our necks. If you are sitting with your legs crossed, maybe place the opposite leg in front. Just train your brain to do new things. And we'll do chin to chest, ear to shoulder, slow and easy. When you're ready, reverse. And let yourself come right back to center. If you're sitting hips to heels, go ahead and drop your right hip down. If you're sitting cross-legged or you've got your right hip down now, let's extend the legs. So I've got my knees bent, my feet planted. And I'm going to roll onto my belly. I'm going to roll onto my back. I'm using my belly to roll down. So for my resting shape, I could bring my knees together or I could extend my legs. We're going to be here for a few minutes as we finish our practice. So finding a shape that feels restful, you can bring the arms to the sides of the body. Eyes can close if you'd like. Let's take a few breaths here. Let all the movement we just did integrate. And again, be present. Very gently, movement comes into fingers and toes. Maybe wrist and ankles rotate. And as you inhale, hands and feet stop moving. As you exhale, turn your chin to the right. Inhale the chin to center. Exhale, turn your chin to the left. As you're ready, roll to one side. Take a moment, take a couple more breaths here. And using your top hand, bring yourself up to a comfortable sitting shape. Perhaps our hands join at the heart in prayer. Perhaps the eyes softly close. Give yourself the gift of being present. Allow yourself to feel and experience what is happening now. We only have this moment. The past is gone. The future is not promised to any of us. Be present. Thank you so much for taking time, moving your body, and breathing. Namaste. Thanks so much, everyone. So if I drop a video, it will always be on Saturday. Last week we did prenatal, which is also a great workout for someone looking for an easier type of flow. Today I felt called to do some gentle work, and we will absolutely be doing some aerial as well. I hope to see you again. Take care. Bye-bye.